Email returns $36 to $40 for every dollar you spend on it. It's the highest return on investment digital marketing channel available to your nonprofit. But most organizations are still writing one email, sending it to everyone, and starting from scratch every month. So let me show you what you're leaving on the table. I'm Bruce Stapleton. I wrote the book Nonprofit Marketing Excellence to help small teams market like they've got a whole department. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to show you the email system and 2 different automations that will help you build the momentum you need in your marketing. So let me start with Diane's story. She inherited an email list of 4,200 contacts at a literary nonprofit and was using an approach that she called spray and pray. Every month, one mass email to everyone: donors, volunteers, parents, community partners. Same message, same tone. She said, we're treating a 4,000 person list like it was one person. A first-time donor was getting the same email as that 10-year board member, and open rates sat around 12%. So one weekend, she looked at restructuring her email campaigns with better segmentation and adding a welcome sequence. And the numbers flipped. Open rates rose to 38%. Donor retention increased from 34 to 61%. And her year-end appeal brought in 47% more revenue, all from an exact same email list. And here's what most nonprofit organizations miss. You have a structural advantage over for-profit companies in using email more effectively. Nonprofits have what for-profit companies don't, and that's a mission. People don't subscribe to your emails because they want to be marketed to. They subscribe because they care about what you do, and that's your greatest asset. And that's the shift that unlocks everything. So stop treating email as a broadcast channel and start treating it as a relationship channel. One food bank proved this in a single change. They replaced their general newsletter with a monthly impact story email. One email, one family, one story, 200 words. The general newsletter got 18% opens. The impact story email got 44%. Donor retention among the people who opened it went to 78% versus 41% from everybody else. Most nonprofits write one kind of email, but what you need is a working email ecosystem that runs 4, each with its own job. First is newsletters. Inform and engage broadly. One story, one idea, one action, sent monthly. And then campaign sequences. These are 2 to 5 emails building towards a specific action like your year-end appeal. And then there's automated flows. These are triggered by behavior, not calendar. Set them up once and they run indefinitely. And finally, transactional emails, which confirm receipts and registrations. These are necessary, but pair these with a warm human follow-up a day or 2 later, because that's where real relationships start. Underneath all 4 sits one rule that isn't optional. Only send to people who explicitly opt in. Permission isn't just a law, it's what makes every number I've mentioned so far actually work. A smaller engaged list will outperform a large uninterested one every single time. The other key is to have 2 automations built into your email system. This delivers the highest return for the least setup effort. The welcome sequence and the new donor series cover the 2 highest value moments in any nonprofit relationship: when someone first shows interest and when someone first invests in you. A few hours of setup buys years of relationship building with 0 ongoing staff time. The welcome sequence runs 3 emails about over 10 days. Email 1 is immediate, a warm, story-driven introduction to your mission. No ask, just a welcome. Email 2 a few days later, your most compelling impact story, the people behind the work. Email 3 is about a weekend. It's the first gentle invitation: attend an event, download a resource, but not necessarily a donation. Welcome emails alone generate 4 times more opens and 5 times more clicks than a regular newsletter, because they land at the exact moment of highest interest. The new donor series runs 3 to 5 emails over 90 days. Email 1 is immediate, a personal thank you, not a receipt. That tells them specifically what their gift makes possible. About a week later, an impact story that turns a transaction into a relationship. And then about a month in, an invitation to go deeper. Organizations running these automations see donor retention 15 to 25% points higher than those without them. The goal of the welcome sequence isn't to extract maximum value from the first interaction, is to create the conditions for a long-term relationship. Every email in that life cycle only works if it gets opened. Specific human subject lines beat organizational ones every time. Lead with a story, not a statistic. And give every email exactly one call to action. Multiple asks produce less action on all of them. Then track 4 key metrics: open rate, click rate, unsubscribe rate, and email-driven donor retention. And clean out anyone who hasn't opened anything in the last 12 months. So now back to Diana. She didn't grow her list. She built an ecosystem underneath it, 3 segments and a welcome sequence that ran the moment someone joined without her writing it twice. And that's the key to long-term success. Build it once in your own voice and let it keep working long after you hit send. So this week, do one thing. If you don't have a welcome sequence, draft the first email, under 250 words, one specific story, no ask. The full framework, the email ecosystem, the complete automation lifecycle is in Chapter 19 of the Nonprofit Marketing Excellence book. And there's a full write-up in this week's post at movementum.com. And if you want to see where your own marketing stands, take the free Momentum Marketing Scorecard link below. It scores you across all 5 pillars in about 10 minutes. Subscribe, and I'll see you next week.